Thoris picked up a power glove in Eastern, looks like.
Did he though? I didn't see it happen. Did you see it happen? Or are we just trusting the tracker?
I didn't see it happen. I'm trusting the tracker. You know what? Trackers, don't listen to Coy. I got your backs. I trust you.
Well, it depends on which of them, because I trust one more than the other. I'm not going to say which though.
So flippers and glove. That's a pretty stacked Eastern, but we got early bow and lamp, so it makes logical sense.
Yeah, everyone's going like right here. We might see South Shore first, but like standard play is to just go to Eastern FK. First is going to be a little hard pressed for arrows. He needs to pick up a lot of those pops. You need more. Okay, there you go. Minimum 18 arrows to kill Armos.
He's got it set up very well. Yep.
Yeah, very good top right.
Draco looks like he's going to do the South Shore route before going over to Eastern, so that'll be our first hint over into this area. While we get the confirmation from Amarith and Angles that this really is a stacked Eastern.
Yeah, it's not super crazy to do South Shore first or anything. Like, both South Shore and Eastern in this situation are things you're definitely going to be doing. Like, even if you found Dark World access in Eastern, like, you'd still go to South Shore.
Yeah, the only efficiency that's gained right now is having those flippers. Means you can route Hobo and probably maybe even up to the Zora area in with the other South Shore checks. So it's a little bit more efficient in this particular case to do Eastern first, but it's not going to be a huge time save.
Yeah, and conversely, like he'll find like a sword or boots or something that would make the Eastern dip just a little bit better.
That Moldor giving Draco some fits there. Let's see, money, itty bitty money, more arrows, tons of money in bonds. Man, that was a disappointing getting Moldor.
Now, someone did the rupee room, right? Was it Draco? Or no, was it Thoris?
I think it was Thoris. Thoris did it as he was clearing out Eastern, yeah. That's a pretty efficient use of the Cane of Samaria there. He was getting multiple hits off of a block very quickly.
Oh, other glove in Ice Rod Cave. Hey, that's Dark World access.
That is Dark World access. Oh man, I hate that.
It's super gross. Please don't make me do this Dark World access, but it is Dark World access.
Yeah, that western side just portends all sorts of nasty things that could possibly come. I mean, Hammer Fairy is always a possibility when you have that Dark World access set up. So you're like, oh, please no.
We need to think positively. Okay, the hammer is obviously just a Village of Outcasts. You know, probably the chess game. All the answers to your troubles just sit in the chess game right now.
No, it's going to be even worse. Hammer's going to be like halfway through Thieves Town or something. Something like disgusting.
Good job on not checking the hints, guys. Hints are disabled for our run today.
So it looks like Thoris, on his way over here to Ice Rod Cave, will be the first one with official Dark World access, even though we've known about it for a couple minutes, even though we don't want to.
I wonder if he will do the Rupee Cave.
I think he's set himself up to route in the Zora checks. He's just kind of routing this in.
Yeah, he's like low on rupees, but he's like close enough that it doesn't feel that bad to do the Rupee Cave.
Draco is fake flippering. He has not been over to Eastern Palace yet, so I mean this is out of logic for him, but in logic as far as we know.
Thoris opts not to get the rupees, so we're not going to see a Zora check unless Waterfall Fairy just has all the money. Has some money, not enough. Amarith misses his top right, and Angles looks like he... Nope, he missed the bottom right. Feels bad, man.
Oh, Thoris didn't farm up rubies.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, he could have used the 20 rupee cave. Like, if he'd have to do it like 3 or 4 times, but he would have been able to get Zora. But I mean, like, you know, you just got the mids, it's Dark World access. How important is it to go to Zora, like, right now?
Draco's actually going to show us the escape cave. I mean, this is at least 2 spots right here.
Hi,
Hook. Wow. Okay.
That you go to the mountain now. Like,
yeah, mountain.
I mean, Draco might go to the mountain now. He would be better off waiting for mids, but he doesn't know mids are where they are.
That's real dangerous for Draco right now, because he's getting all this access that opens other things up for him when we know kind of his logical access, at least as far as we know right now, is over in East.
Yeah, meanwhile, Amarith and Angles are both finding their hookshot as well before they found the mitts, although their mitts are in Ice Rod Cave. The mountain is very, very tempting. It looks like Amarith might do it. Oh, he's hula-hanning. Alright, I like this.
So which would you rather have for your Dark World access in this position? Would you rather have to go to Eastern Palace to get your Dark World access, or go out of your way over to Ice Rod Cave?
So from my point of view, they are identical, because I'm going to do both of those things every time. But I know a lot of players, they like to, skip things when they can, and Ice Rod Cave is pretty nice to skip.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people that likes to skip Ice Rod Cave, and that just sounds disastrous to me right now.
Yeah, and every time I get the flute there, I win the game, right? Isn't that how it works? I don't know, everything you do in Rando is a gamble.
Oh my god.
Speaking of.
Flute on the old man. Wow.
So we got Draco and Angles going up the mountain without the mitts. But they both have that hook shot from back in escape.
Oh no!
Rip.
Angles.
It's painful. Dead rocked.
And that's the thing. If you die while escorting the old man, I mean, you just go right back to where he's at, which I learned the hard way when I tried to navigate my way without a sword in dark rooms, and I don't know dark rooms that well, and that was fun.
Yeah, you just get trapped in there. Just hold random directions until it works, right?
So Amarith now is significantly over that 500 rupee threshold and kind of routing Zora in the right spot. This might be our first check on Zora, and if that's something significant, it could be a while before anyone else goes back and checks Zora.
Yeah, it's unlikely that Zora is actually going to be progression. If it is, that's amazing, right? But it's probably just 20 rupees or something. But the real benefit here is that if anybody else goes back to Zora later, Amorous checking of it now is more efficient and faster. Going back to Zora is time loss, just flatline.
Draco showed us our first sword is actually in Paradox Cave.
I definitely nice pickup. Oh, Engels left the mountain to go activate the flute, so he could go back to the mountain. Not sure that was important.
I mean,
could have waited.
You save and quit, and then you just pop in right at the same spot. So.
It's fine. It's fine. He'll get in a quick Genis check here and be able to save and quit out of a Genis cave and just restart back at the mountain.
Ooh, boots are in Spiral Cave. It's
like the one thing that makes going to activate the flute slower.
Alright, what does Agina have for us? Just 300.
Not saving and quitting? Not saving and quitting, okay. Probably have saved and quit. But whatever. So Amarith will be our first player to go to the Zora area with the rupees to actually check Zora. Fantastic. And so far is the only player with both mitts and hookshot. So we're also going to be seeing a bunch of checks on the mountain following this.
This has been a fairly free early game. I mean, no one's gotten into the Dark World yet, but we have kind of significant items already. I'm honestly a little surprised.
I mean, it's true, we have a lot of stuff. It's not too uncommon, though, to have, like, this many items. Like, we're still missing a lot of stuff, too. Hammer, fire rod, etc. Mirror. Mirror. Did you just frame rule a bush, Amaranth? Is that what I saw?
I saw that, too.
How do you even do that? It's standing still!
Alright, Zora, what are you scamming us for today? Artisanal explosives.
Just some bombs. Not a big deal. Though, I mean, like I was saying before, if anybody has to go back later to Zora, then Amarith has gained time by doing it now. And our last pendant is Swamp Palace. Reds at Thieves and Pod.
Thieves is already, well, not quite clearable, depending on hammer access, and then hammer for Palace of Darkness. So, unfortunately, no hammer fairy today.
Alright, Angle's headed up the mountain as we thought he would. He'll be able to check Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. we're still on the lookout for that almighty hammer. Very important item. Draco finally headed over to his full clearable Eastern Palace, where he'll find Mitz, aka Dark World Access. Meanwhile, Angle's headed up to Ice Arcade, where he'll find his Mitz as well. Thoris still needs to go back and escape, though. It's a little surprising he hasn't done it yet, just because, like, it feels really bad to not be able to get back and escape in a standard seed. I feel like most people, it's like sticking in their mind until they go check it. There's Mitz for Angles. I think we're going to go back to the mountain, right? And there's Mitz for Draco, but he'll have to finish this dungeon. Oh! The crab! With the snipe! You thought you could activate a flute? No. No, sir. This is crab territory.
That's rude.
Not
That
belong.
is so rude.
Get out of here, Angles.
So Thoris saved and quit out of... I did not get a chance to see what Misery Mire is, but based on chat, it says Ether for Mire. So we're safe from that bombo so far.
Angle's actually going to the Dark World. Pretty surprising, because he hasn't been to the mountain yet. And that's a lot of checks on the mountain with Mitz and Hookshot. And nothing in the Dark World looks very appealing right now. Can't finish Skullwoods. Thieves Town's a, hammer. You don't have the hammer for it. Don't even have like cape and mirror and stuff for the more out of the way checks.
Yeah, I mean, there's some overworld that you can check, but yeah, nothing looks great. You're right. I really think that... I don't know.
I mean, it might pay off still. Like the hammer might just be in the front of Skullwoods or something, right? But without knowing where anything is, the mountain looks way more appealing than what Angles is doing.
Yeah, Amarith is in the vicinity. I imagine they have everything needed to do Dark Death Mountain, so I imagine we'll be getting our answer for Turtle Rock here shortly.
Thoris, unfortunately, still has not been to Back of Escape. I don't know when he's going to do it. It's not like you can put off Back of Escape and maybe get it more efficiently later, right?
Well, I mean, that might be something that, I don't know if Thoris knows the drop pools like you do. I mean, if he thinks that everyone else already did the Back of Escape because they all found bombs and he didn't for whatever reason, do you think he might be strategically putting it off?
I mean,
I'm not saying it's a good idea.
It's kind of a silly thing to do. Like, even if that was like a real play people made. And like, I've met Thoris, and he doesn't seem like that silly of a guy.
I'm just trying to justify it somehow.
Well, I mean, like in the old prize pack logic, right? Where it was possible that somebody else just got a bomb and you didn't. The assumption there is that if there was something there, I need to get it as fast as I can and just accept like the 30-second time loss or whatever it is for having to go back for it. I don't think it's one of those, well, if it's there, I lost the race anyway kind of moments,
It shouldn't be. It absolutely shouldn't be. I don't know. I was just trying to figure it out.
I think maybe he just forgot about it. A lot of pressure, you're on the restream. It's a big race, lots of really good runners. And it's not often you have a standard seed where you don't check those chests.
That is the easiest answer and has no drama in it whatsoever. So, you know, I can't accept that. Oh,
It's prejudiced against Pack of Escape.
so Amarith checked Turtle Rock, and it is, in fact, it's vanilla. It's Quake, and Quake's on the Lumberjack list.
Don't you love Aga Seeds? No, I don't recall which of our runners actually have that knowledge.
I know I saw Thoris up there. I don't know
it's
about...
pretty common play to like check Lumberjack when you're doing the boot checks if you didn't check it early. So I'm sure everyone will eventually find out.
Yeah, Chad also pointing out, just rubbing salt in the wound. Yeah, you can't even just go ahead and do it now because we don't have Aga access yet.
I think that's okay though, right? I don't really want to go to Turtle Rock without the Fire Rod or the Ice Rod.
I mean, yeah, that's...
You could! It's not a...
Is that our troll
highest
for the
play.
day? Is that our troll for the day? Both Fire and Ice Rod are going to be in Turtle Rock.
Oh, that would be so awesome. I don't think I've ever had that happen. I mean, I've seen like Ice Rod on Laser Bridge like 1,000 times, and I've seen Fire Rod on Laser Bridge a couple times, but never both.
Right, so Thoris is in the Dark World. I think he picked up the Ether Medallion. Draco's already in the area as well. Still interesting, Thoris hasn't been up to Death Mountain or to the back of the Escape, which, I mean, it'd be real nice to have a sword right now, although he has the canes.
Oh, there's his Ether. It was in the brewery.
Yep.
And looks like Draco is going back up Thieves Town. Hammer? I don't need no stinking hammer. Probably. I sure hope not. This isn't too crazy of a play. Like, I prefer doing this play when it's a Crystal Thieves Town. I've found hammer in Thieves Town far too often.
Yeah, I found it, especially since the new version came out.
And it's like, it's not necessarily something good in the big chest. What's the worst that could happen?
Rasu123 pops into the chat, says, "Hello everyone, who's winning?" And I'm not going to rant, I'm just going to say chat's winning. This is a delicious seed so far.
All right, I'm gonna be the contrarian here and say this is a perfectly run-of-the-mill seed. Until we find the Ice Rod. Once we know where the Ice Rod is, I'll make a more definitive call.
All right, here's our hype cave. We had arrows, a fire rod, and another sword, and half magic. Hey, that was a pretty good seed. Pretty good hype cave.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, it was fine. It's not like we got 5 required items or anything, you know. I have very high standards for Hype Cave.
Yeah, I'd probably give that a 7 or an 8 out of 10. It wasn't a perfect 10 out of 10, but it was nice.
All right, let's work it down the list. Okay, so we got a sword, right? I'll give it 2 points for the sword, sure. Like, that gives us access, right? Which, you know, leads to Quake, which is required, so sure. What else did we find? Half magic. Doesn't do anything. I'll give it a point, though, because it's nice to have. So, 3 out of 10 for me?
And Fire Rod?
Okay, 5 out of 10.
Wow. Wow.
What if, I mean, just think about it. What if it was like boots, hammer, cane of Samaria, flute, and flippers?
There's got to be some like multiplier bonuses when you like, okay, yeah, 1 point, 2 points, 2 points. But, you know, when you get multiple items, when it's a stack cave like that, I don't know, I give it some bonus there. Anyway.
That is our second sword, though. Angles does not have the one that everybody else found up on the mountain. But that second sword does mean that we can now do Aga. We can now get the Quake Medallion and thus walk into Turtle Rock, which is a much more reasonable play now that we have the fire rod as well. Although still not ideal.
So, question in chat, you know, is Pet about dead? You know, we have Ice Rod left. Let's see, our pendants are going to be Desert Palace, Tower of Hera, and of course Swamp Palace. So, no hammer, no mirror.
I think it's just
yeah,
Ice Rod.
Just Ice Rod.
Thor is giving a swordless blind here with Cane of Samaria. Still missing that hook shot, unfortunately.
Drosy Hammer is required for Swamp Palace, so not, and since that's dependent, it would not be available there.
So unfortunately, I have no idea. Was there an item in the big chest that we were leaving behind?
I lost count. I wish I knew.
I mean, it's hard enough for me to remember when I'm actually playing the seat, but when it's other people, like, my eyes just kind of glaze over on little details like that. I'm more of a big picture person. I need your help, Patasia.
Do you think I pay attention to the details?
I think there was a better chance that you did, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Maybe chat can help us.
I'm pretty constantly counting on chat to help me out.
Thoris is spelling something in the dirt.
Combat Cold Cut says, I believe there's an item in the TT big chest, which is perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh yeah, they need a hammer for Turtle Rock. Oh yeah. Okay. Fine. I guess you need a hammer for that. I feel like a true Link to the Past speedrunner could get into Turtle Rock without the hammer.
Oh, you're going there, huh?
And Draco, where are you going? You're doing a current jump?
Catfish, maybe?
Yeah, he has to do a sequence break to get over there, though.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't have the flippers yet. Okay. He has never... Wait, why doesn't he have the flippers? He cleared Eastern.
Uh-oh. What chest were they in? Was it Vanilla Vicky? Did he skip Vanilla Vicky? That's not good.
Oh.
I mean, it might be fine, right? Like, as long as there's nothing in Swamp. Surely there's nothing in Pendant Swamp, right? Vitasia, tell me there's nothing in Pendant Swamp.
I make no such promises, sir. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize. So, okay, so Draco gambled because it was in the vanilla big key chest that the item was on the boss, and then he just left. Okay, that's...
Yeah, I guess he was feeling a lot more confident about skipping stuff because he went to Eastern last. So when he got the gloves there, it was actually his Starkville access. So it's like, oh, I just opened up the entire game. You know, I can totally skip things now, right? What's the worst that could happen? This right now, Draco. I'm sorry, buddy.
Well, and here's the interesting thing, because Thoris is showing us Ice Palace right now, which Draco can get into Ice Palace, although it would be a sequence break. So if there's anything here, you know, he may even put off Ice Palace where it could possibly be his go mode. So if something is in Ice Palace, bad news for Draco.
Okay, just for the record, going to Ice Palace right now is absolutely crazy. I mean, it's a gamble. Like, everything's a gamble. It's just like Pod is way more likely to have your hammer, just by virtue of how many more checks it has.
Yeah. You know, he may be thinking the Fire Rod is pointing him this direction, plus having the early flippers. I mean, the early prize pool, I could absolutely see his thought process.
Yeah, it's just like, if I'm gonna double dip a crystal, I think I'd rather it be Pod.
No, Thoris.
Yeah, buddy, come on. Oh, think it through. There you go. We got it. Of course, now the Baris won't let him pass.
Okay, so Angles actually now has Master Sword. I think first runner with Master Sword. Also has the boots. Is doing the Death Mountain grind.
So he'll probably check the TR medallion up here, find out it's Quake, and then do the boots checks, and then find out where Quake is.
Not quite. No, Thoris is trying to set up Ice Palace bomb jump. I think this is the first bomb jump that every rando runner needs to learn. Just because this saves so much time.
Yeah, as far as like what it does and like what it allows you to do, this one is by far the most powerful. It's not that important that he does it right now though, because he has Cane of Samaria. So even if he found the hammer here, he would be able to get to Cold Stare with or without the bomb jump. The only problem is maybe he knows this bomb jump, but he doesn't know the hookshot room bomb jump. In which case he would not be able to get to the hookshot lock side if it was hookshot lock. Of course, the odds are in favor of him just not finding the hammer here, right?
Yeah. Looks like he has gone ahead and said, nope, forget it. Wasted time. So Angles has seen Quake. Amherst with the swag dig.
Looks like Angles is going straight to Castle Tower. I guess he knew about Lumberjack already.
He might have already known.
Why is he not dashing? I've done this before, where I pick up the boots and then just immediately forget that I picked up the boots. Okay, he remembered.
Yeah.
Good. He walked the whole way from Link's house without dashing once. Alright, chest in Thoris's Ice Palace, the other bow. And Thoris says that's good enough. Okay. I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. He was gambling, and
Yeah, I don't know,
gamble didn't pay off.
You make this huge gamble to go into Ice Palace, right? But you only check the first two chests. Like the IC chest was also available. He could have got that, and it might have had the hammer. But it is like a big like time sink to go to that one chest.
Now the berries are playing around with Amarith there a little bit.
Draco takes down Mocula. Totally missed that. But he did it.
Yep, got the big key, so still hunting for that last treasure.
3 crystals down. Draco in the lead for crystals, anyway.
We still haven't seen Palace of Darkness, which I tend to agree. This feels like that's going to be our next progression location.
Yeah, anytime you get like early bow and lamp and there isn't anything on Armos himself, Pod probably has something. It's not always something you want, but there's probably something in there.
I might do Misery Mire because that's full clearable before I do that, though.
Oh yeah, totally reasonable to go to crystals that you can full clear over going to Pod. Amarith also taken down the big bug.
All right, Engels is going to be our first one to Aga 1. Now remember, in this randomizer, all the Aga fights are supposedly identical. So we're going to have the same number of blue balls for all of our runners. Get your guesses in chat. How many blue balls do we have?
Anywhere between 0 and 15. I wish it was 15. It's going to be 3, but I wish it was 15.
I always hope for a little bit more pain. I'm going to go 5. I'm guessing 5.
Like, statistically, 3 is, like, most likely, but... Yeah,
2 already.
Variance. Yeah, maybe 5 is the answer. Or 15! Okay, it's not 15. Ruined. I am so super surprised that no one's gone to Pod yet. Like, I would have gone to Pod like a million years ago.
Alright, there's 3. But yeah, Pod seems real good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, you know, you can get the crystals out of these and Olas and everything. I probably would have just gone to Pod immediately, like, skipped down on the left questions. But that's just me, and there's definitely more than one way to route the game. And my placement in races definitely don't support my way of playing the game. Down goes Aga 1 for Angles. Let's go get the Quake Medallion.
And it was 3.
It's always 3.
Let me have my dream. One of these days.
Bang, bang, straight to the moon.
All right. Amaranth is really the only one right now showing us any new information, and it looks like Draco might be heading that direction before too long.
Look at Thoris! He did it! He found the hook shot!
You're happy now, aren't you?
Oh, thank God. I was so worried that he just forgot about the back of escape completely and was never going to do it and would forfeit or something. Thankfully, he does finally remember to go there. He finds this hook shot, which is going to open up the rest of the things that everybody else has already done. Unfortunately, the hammer is not here. Which like doesn't matter.
All right, Angles. Gonna be the first one with our Quake medallion, but man, you don't want to really do Turtle Rock, right? Well, you can't do it.
Yeah, no hammer yet. Emerald's still going through Meyer. Drake has opened it up. Maybe we'll find a hammer here.
It feels possible. It feels like it's possible.
Oh yeah, you find like access to Meyer really early. It's a pretty safe play to go in. Depending on like how early you find the progression, I would argue like that's one of the best plays you can do, even without like the cane or something.
All right, Amaranth now in the cutscene room. Haven't really seen a whole lot out of Misery Meyer so far, but
Yeah,
now 3 of our runners are going to be there.
This is the big key he's going to drop down to in a second. We found a small key in that top torches room, and that confirms that this has to be the big key.
Super Momo World asks, why fight Aga and then not do pod? I think his primary reason for doing pod was knowing that he needed to get it done for the Quick Medallion, and just immediately go ahead and do it. But yeah, I'm also surprised at this point no one's dipped pod. It should be the.
Well, as long as you have crystals, you can like full clear, like actually kill the bosses in. It's not too crazy to put off pod, but it really does feel like the pod's the answer here.
That fairy is just trolling Amaranth.
Can't touch me, can't touch me.
And there's like 80 places to get it.
We got a heart there.
And there was rupees in the other one, so that's I think that's everything, yeah.
So we get to do the Master Sword, the Master Sword Vitreous fight, and get nothing to show for it.
That's a little bit gross.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. I mean, Master Sword's a lot better than Fire Sword, I guess. It's not that bad. We even have the Cane of Burna and like a blue potion. We could do like dashes or something.
You know, the nice thing is, you know, we don't have the mirror yet, which is locking off our access to both Swamp Palace and Desert Palace. And Tower of Hera, honestly, at this point in time. We need either the hammer or the mirror to get Tower of Hera access. We need either the mirror or the book to get Desert Palace access. Not having the mirror right now is a little bit of a blessing, isn't it?
Once we find the mirror, everybody goes and does those things, but the hammer is just in the first chest of Soul.
Oh, rip.
It's so funny. Ankle's taking a dab. Yikes. Those little sluggo guys, they hurt.
They pack a punch.
It is 3 hearts on blue mail even. Going bow strats here for Amaranth. You'll want to save 8 of these arrows for the big guy.
I think it is 8 arrows, and it's a lot of arrows for the small eyes too.
I was really hoping for Burnadashes.
Lag strats? Yeah, I'm all about those.
It's not that laggy. It's a little laggy, I guess. Draco, where are you going? Don't go in there. Oh my gosh. Down goes Vinny.
All right, that's the 4th crystal. So Amarith pulled into the lead. 4th crystal.
Okay, now you gotta pop it, right? Right? Where else are you gonna go? We'll find something.
I mean, yeah, they'll figure
We'll
something
find
out.
something.
Hey, Ice Palace is unlocked right now, except for the hammer. Oh, God.
Amber's going Act 1 to get that quick medallion. Okay.
I mean, yeah, Aga 1 in this position is one of those things that I think if you're just stumped and you need to go on autopilot for a little bit so you can think, I think that's probably what you do. You're like, okay, look, I have to do this anyway. Let me go on autopilot here while I think.
Yeah, like the only reason not to do Agatar right now is, you know, maybe I'll find like the Tempered Sword and make this a tiny bit faster. It's not like getting the Quake Medallion right now is helping you. You'll need it eventually. And now Thoris is gonna head to Meyer, it looks like. And just to be clear, like, this is not wrong. It's not wrong to go to Meyer. Like, Meyer is definitely a more safe play. Like, it's a safer play. Crystal Dungeon, you can pull there and everything.
Are you happy you got your dash strats?
Almost. Not if he dies. Don't die!
Now I can do dash strats again!
What? Yeah, there you go. Switch. No, do the dash stretch. Fantastic. See, way easier than what Draco's doing. Uh-oh,
So-
Draco ran out of arrows. That's not good.
Oh, Draco, clutch it out!
Dude, just play it safe, man. It's not worth it. Don't do the spins. Stop with the spins.
Man,
Oh my gosh. The spins are like totally not worth it.
So I just devised a bit of a nightmare scenario.
Do tell.
Above the standard, you know, ice rod on pedestal, that's...
Oh, it's so boring. Ice rod on pad. Ugh. It's
No,
not even fun. Like, it's so obvious it's not even fun anymore.
Now what I'm thinking is Mirror on Laser Bridge and Ice Rod on left side swamp.
No, you gotta put it in Mimic Cave. Mimic Cave would be funnier. Or at least put like flippers in Mimic Cave, alright?
I mean, we already know where the flippers are, so...
Alright, darn. Shoot, we're out of items. Fine.
We'll tell you what, we'll put the book in the cave.
Okay. I'd like that. Because then you have to like mirror and then walk up Paradox again to get to either tablet. Oh, here is that time loss I was talking about before. Draco.
Yeah. And everyone's kind of looking for something at this point, so
Nobody's looking at pod.
Yeah, at this point, I'm as confused as you are.
I don't know. Maybe it's just from like having played like tons of seeds or something. Like I don't know how experienced each of our runners is today, but it's totally pod, you guys. It's like the most pod of pods.
It does appear to be the pod of pods.
It's really gross that it's probably just the hammer, you know? Because like that's the worst place for the hammer to be, because you want the hammer before you go there.
Alright, catfish check at least. I don't know if we've gotten a catfish check.
Draco's going back for the chest he skipped in Eastern instead of going to pod. Okay. I mean, he did skip something here. It was the flippers, but that's not really going to help him. Why do we hate pod so much?
I don't know. Amarith went up to the fish and then said, no, I mean, it looks like a good day to do a genus K. Was there like an agreement amongst all the runners?
Thou shalt not
private
pod.
Pod is your last location, everyone.
I don't know, it might be like one of those deals where like, okay, well, somebody probably dipped pod early, so if the progression's there, then I'm super behind, so I'm just going to assume it's not there and do all these one-offs instead. I have definitely been guilty of making calls like that before.
I mean, I think we all have. It's like, oh, I've put this off long enough. If it's there, I'm done anyway. But all four of our runners on stream doing that?
Yeah, it's a little crazy. It's all four of them.
Hey, Thoris has the easiest Vidi fight with those silvers.
Thanks, Ice Phallus.
Oh, that half-second hesitation on Draco's side. Oh, yep, there's some Source Wings. Yep.
The thing is, like, he gets the flippers now, right? But they don't do anything. He already did all the flipper checks. Unless he goes to Ice Palace. Do you think he goes to Ice Palace just because he found the flippers right now?
He might. He very well could. Amarith is going to be our first one turning in Gary's lunchbox. I don't think anyone has turned that in yet.
Yeah, it's kind of a gross check without the mirror. Although the foot makes it a little nicer. Draco going Ice Palace. What? Just go to pod. Okay. Okay. All right, I gotta calm down.
Oh, Amarith might be doing it. Maybe. Not floating away!
He doesn't have the hammer. He can't enter the dark world right there.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, looks like Amarith is going to go after Aga 1. Maybe he'll do pod after. No, we already did Aga 1. Oh, he's just going to pod. Okay, we got a pod play, finally. Watch it be an ice tea. Amarith's just an ice palace the whole time.
Oh, that would be disastrous.
I mean, it's certainly possible. It's just pod's like so much more likely.
At 1 hour, 7 minutes, and almost 8 minutes, we'll say Amarith will be entering pod, our first runner. We've had access to pod since like the 20-minute mark.
Ice Rod and Eastern, yeah, since Dark World access. The flippers gave us our original East Dark World access.
So we'll be looking for Draco for Ice Tea Room specifically, because that could have the hammer. But otherwise, Amarith is going to show us something. The absolute last thing you want to see right now, though, is Mirror. And I feel really weird saying that. But... Okay, first chest is a key, so, I mean, it's not bow lock, but thanks.
Yeah, it's not like super hard bow lock, but if there are 2 keys here on the right side, then that would mean that the Harmless Hellway and the Dark Mace are bow locked by logic.
I mean, we got the bow from Uncle, though, early on, so
yeah,
it's like, eh.
And then, of course, whatever is over here is also bow locked, obviously.
Chloe, what's fun today? Hammerless? Yeah, we are hammerless up to this point in time. And also, we have a required AGA because of Quake on Lumberjack Legends, required for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, so the weird thing today is just how early the bow and the lamp were. Like we had bow and lamp before we left the escape in the standard seed, and it took over an hour before anyone wanted to go to pod. To be fair, there was lots of crystals we could get without going to pod.
That's true.
But everybody did go above and beyond skipping pod. Like, we saw Mirrorless Smiths, we saw Gina, we saw everything on the mountain. We saw Ice Palace. Nobody wants to go to pod.
I think the Ice Palace play is what confuses me the most. Just, this is another dungeon that requires the hammer, so why? Just why?
Amarith, are you skipping the vanilla Vikiches? Not advised. Please don't do that.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's
likely
okay,
to be
it's
something.
Fine. It's fine as long as it's not the big key. If it is the big key, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to anybody while playing this game.
Really? The worst thing that's ever happened to anybody?
While playing the game, I qualified it. Except for Ice Rod and Skullwoods.
No. There's...
Oh, look, the hammer and pod! Who could have possibly have predicted this scenario? Oh my gosh.
Don't you wish you'd be racing the seed right now? Just...
Well, the thing is, like, if I was in this seed, the hammer wouldn't have been in pod.
There's the big key.
Okay, so Hammer is not getting super punished for skipping the vanilla baking chest today.
Yeah, but it's something, right?
Yeah, but it might be like map or compass. You know, he'll go back for it. He's routing with the hopes of getting to skip it, but he'll go back for it if he needs to.
Don't often see people with the mirror shield, but Emerald has the mirror shield today. Usually we dodge those if we can.
Nice mushroom.
Yeah, Ped is not dead, but it is on life support.
So all we're looking for at this point is the ice rod and a way to get into desert, which will either be mirror or block. No, wait, desert's pendant.
Yeah, desert's pendant.
Okay, yep, ice rod go mode, fantastic, wonderful game, much wow.
Yeah, the last thing we want right now is mirror, because mirror unlocks the 3 pendant dungeons for us.
Or is the thing we want most the mirror, because it unlocks 3 pendant dungeons for us.
Well, okay. I mean, technically, Tower of Hera is now unlocked because we have the.
I think the standard play in this scenario is to, you know, finish up pod, finish up ice, and then just go to Turtle Rock and hope the ice rod's in there.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Or, you know, Ice Rod buried behind mirror on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, disgustingly, that's actually way more likely than the ice rod being in TR.
All right, so now 3 of our runners are all in various stages of Palace of Darkness after, you know, channeling the inner grump that is Koi.
Well, I'm not grumpy.
It's okay.
This whole scene just comes down to, where's the darn ice rod?
That's never happened in the history of any randomizer ever.
What is the grossest place the ice rod can be right now?
Grossest place would be on Ether Tablet with the book and the book buried somewhere after mirror is... I mean, there's a solid chain of like 4 places we can do.
I think the grossest place is Thievestown Big Chest. All 4 of our runners went to Thievestown without the hammer, and all 4 of our runners left that chest behind, which I believe chat told us did have an item.
Yeah, so I mean that would be gross. That would be gross.
And the more stuff we find on the way, like the mirror and the book and the fetch quests and all that, the worse it is, because you are not going back to Thieves' Town if you can help it.
Alright, so Amaranth now in Ice Palace will be the first one to show us a full look of Ice Palace. Those treasures that are beyond the hammer.
Angle's tried so hard with that swag kick, but just barely missed it.
It was worth a shot.
I'll give it A for effort.
As we already know where the mushroom is, so if you're trying to come up with nightmare scenarios, remember we at least know where the mushroom is.
Nice bomb jump from Amaranth. First try.
So Draco's on his Aga fight right now. Remember, Thoris has not done his Aga yet. Not really slowing him up at this point in time. Still has 4 crystals, like everyone else. But we'll eventually have to make that detour.
Yeah, Thoris unfortunately lost a fair bit of time compared to our other runners by not getting the hook shot earlier. So for a lot of the seed, everybody else had boots, and Thoris was walking around.
Catfish has been checked. Yep. We're right now, I mean, it's looking like
look,
just
the ice rod.
Seriously.
It was just an Ice Palace behind my hammer.
That was so disappointing.
Come on! What a boring scene. How boring.
Here's the problem. Man, silvers are right in this next room. Probably not even going to check. Or do you check because you're still at Master Sword?
Yeah, you check because you're on Master Sword. Okay, Amaranth doesn't though, so whatever. What are you Okay. It takes like 4 seconds to check that chest. Feels bad, man.
Hey, when you gotta go fast. We've only really seen those 2 swords, so maybe banking on finding another sword in Ganon's tower?
Yeah, it's pretty likely. There'll just be another sword on the way. Not a big deal. Like, even go moding Turtle Rock, you pretty much open every chest. And then in GT, like, you have to keep opening chests until you finally find the big key. So if it's a late enough big key, you open a lot of chests. So this seed is just kind of nice if you just go to pod, huh?
Yeah, this seed would have been great.
Like, you just go to pod, and then you get the fire up in High Cave, and then you full clear Skull Woods, and Thieves Town, and Mire, and Ice, and Como, and you just go to Turtle Rock and finish the game.
I mean, at least this was an Aga required seed.
True.
So we got a bit of trolling. Not a ton, but a bit. Didn't have to even dip our pinky toe into any pendant dungeon.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of an upside of not getting the hammer earlier. Like, I feel like if you had done what I suggested and gone to pod right away, like, you probably would have full cleared Tower of Hera in the seed. And it is also possible that all those hammer checks that you're checking on the way because you got the early hammer, maybe that leads to the mirror, and maybe you just do a whole bunch of other stuff just because you had that early hammer. Definitely more than one way to route the seed.
Absolutely. It looks like Angles is going to be refilling some bombs prior to entering Ice Palace again. So, what's going through Amareth's head right now? Do you think you're ahead, behind? You feeling like, oh man, I could have had this hammer forever ago, and you're feeling a little bit behind, or not?
I think you feel behind. But not because you didn't get the hammer early, but because you did so many like little inefficient things before getting the hammer. Like, he could have just done Eastern Palace, Skullwoods, Thievestown, and Mire, and then gone to Pod, right? But instead, he did Eastern Palace, Skullwoods, Mire, and Thievestown, and then did Mirrorless Smiths, did the Flipper checks, did the Catfish check, you know?
Alright, but Amareth's going to be the first one showing us the new information here in Turtle Rock. It is not firelocked so far. Oh boy, Thoris trying this bomb jump again.
Maybe playing with a new sprite, having to relearn the Q.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways to set this up. I've learned both setting it up with your shadow and then from the sword. And it can be a little bit weird. Oh, I think he's got it. Oh no!
Oh, poor Thoris.
Sorry, buddy. I hope I didn't jinx you. Okay.
An Amber that did find that big key in the chain chomp serum, so we will be able to skip the vanilla big key test, the lava test.
Yeah, skipping big chest, skipping everything possibly can at this point.
Thor's finding the ice rock, being our third runner into go mode behind Angles. And it does look like Angles also skipped those silver arrows.
Alright. Amarith will have to do Laser Bridge. Can't skip that, unfortunately. Doris also acting as though he's in go mode, skipping that big chest.
Well, Thor's found all 3 items.
Oh, okay.
It was like a cape and a spike chest, I think. Smokey in the 4th chest, of course.
Says, let's play it safe. Take the safety door.
Yeah, perfectly reasonable. Like, Hammer Trinix isn't exactly the easiest thing in the world.
I mean, you have half magic, so that's something. And it'll help. Man, this is still nerve-wracking. Angle's now going into Turtle Rock. Looks like Draco finishing up. Oh, there's the map right there.
Playing it real fast and loose with his magic here. He's run out. We'll have to drink a potion.
Yeah, that was a little bit inefficient. Using it for damage. But on to the final phase. Where are Silvers? Silvers are in that double Freezor room in Ice Palace. So Thorson and Draco went into Ice Palace instead of Palace of Darkness. So they were full clearing as much as they could and found the Silvers. Amarith and Angles, though, both skipped it because they were in go mode by then and opted not to take the 4 seconds. You know? Either way, ladies and gentlemen, and other folks in chat, that is our 7th and final crystal. You know what that means. There are 22 treasure locations that could possibly contain the Ganon's Tower Big Key. 1 through 22. Go ahead, get your guesses in chat. And because I'm feeling slightly evil today, I'm actually hoping for an early one. I'm hoping that Amarith and Angles, well, because then they're going to be doing Master Sword Silverless Ganon. Like, no, you don't get any opportunities to pick up any more swords. You're done.
Rude.
Oh my god, seriously? course. Picks up Temper Sword, first one. God. You escaped justice this week, Amarith.
Maybe it can still be Tower. Yeah, that's what Amber thinks it is anyway.
I mean, yeah, let's do it for the memes. Amarith using a common glitch that if you activate the cape and then pull a wall, you're fine. You will not run out of magic. All that for a big 20. All right, so Amarith has opened up 3 locations. That's a little bit out of order from what I would call standard.
Yeah, anytime you do Tower Room and it's not the 22nd chest you opened, we call that a Tower Room gamble.
All right, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Not there.
So normal play is to grab this key and then mirror back to the front, but we don't have a mirror. So looks like we're going to be headed all the way to Isermos. Doing the full right today.
You know, oh god.
This is why nobody likes going full right, by the way. This room.
I think Amarith was just like, hey, if I die, Death War.
Who needs a mirror, right? Amarith.
That's fair.
Iframes for the win.
Oh god. That little mini Helmasaur bodying Amarith.
Okay, very important note here. Amarith has 19 arrows.
Oh,
So,
that.
Oh, and half a heart.
Wow.
So if you do this fight perfectly, it takes 18 arrows. So we may have to see some alternate strategies.
Taking it nice and slow here.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to cost more than 18 arrows. Doing it like that. Well, no, he actually just left one completely alone and didn't waste a single arrow. Nice job!
There was
and it's the big key!
8. Number 8 for anyone.
So we're going outside to dig, right?
Should be. Kiro Kuto guessed 8 in chat.
Oh, wow. Clutch arrows in the big chest.
And there's some.
Oh, look, the mirror! Wow, so this is just like a nice seed. Huh. I mean, you just go to pod and then it's a nice seed. Because like the one danger of like getting the early hammer, right, is that the hammer led to the mirror and then the mirror led to full clearing the game while you didn't go to ice valves or something, right? But if the mirror's in GT, like that never happens.
Oh, Amaranth is climbing without a key.
Uh-oh. Well, maybe it'll be fine. But maybe not.
So yeah, this could be bad.
So there's 4 chests up the gauntlet here, and they can have, or the first 3 can have a small key for you, but it's pretty far from guaranteed.
Yeah, and man, that's. I am super nervous for Amaranth right now. Looks like Angles is also at least going to the right, but I don't know if it's a full right check or not.
Well, like Amaranth, he doesn't have the mirror, so he might do it just to avoid death warping.
Oh, that was just about the last frame you could get through that door. Thor going up.
Yeah, I thought he did Turtle Rock. Oh, Amaranth taking a death, though. And no fairy to save you this time. Maybe we notice now that we're missing a key? Nope. But we are missing arrows. We need some more arrows.
I mean, there's 5 in the next room.
I tell you, every time I've counted on those arrows, they despawn on me.
Angles is also doing full right. Wow.
Oh, Thoris hasn't done Ice Spells yet. I thought he did it. Or Turtle Rock yet. Oh, he hadn't done Aggle 1. Ah. And we are digging for arrows. Every dig has a 1 in 724, I think, chance of dropping arrows.
I think back to Spaceballs. Ding ding. Ding 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 ding. Get a fairy before you get arrows. Wow.
Clutch fairy. Oh my gosh, where are all the arrows? This is ridiculous. There we go. There we go. That's enough.
Angles has a chance to really come back now.
Yeah, especially if he remembers to grab a small key. It's like the big downside to going full right is that this situation can happen where you don't have a small key left over, where every other route to Ice Armos results in you having at least 1 small key.
Oh no, Angles! Don't you forget as well.
Rip!
Oh.
Sure hope there's a key after the gauntlet, you guys.
Nah. This is a lesson learning moment right here. Oh, Angles remembered. Still forsaking the mirror, which.
We don't really need a mirror for anything.
Oh,
Amaranth! And then we have to go dig again. And just like that, Angles takes the lead. He found a bee.
Oh my god. Request from Beazle. Please increase the dig rate of arrows outside Ganon's tower, if at all possible. Gee.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. These arrows. You might as well catch the bee.
Hey, there's
Hey.
some 10 arrows.
Nice. Still not remembering the small key though.
Here's what I'm worried about now. I'm worried that Amarith is going to get out. There's not going to be any keys. And at that point, your frustration level after dying a couple times on the gauntlet and then getting up there not having any keys would just crush a human being. Just crush them.
Yeah, I mean, if I was ever going to forfeit a seed, it would be in a moment like that. I've been saying angles, and Batasia's been saying angels, I think.
Angles, angel, yeah. We're all over the place. All I know is I need some more vowels before I make a definitive decision.
It's got one. Is that not good enough for you?
No, no, it is not.
Fascist.
It is a very, English-centric way of viewing it. Yes, I understand. Oh no, Draco has skipped the iced tea room, which had was the ice rod, was it?
Oh. No, ice rod's on the right side. I think, yeah, it was like spike room, cape, and then the, I don't even know what you call it, the H room, I guess, is what Casa calls it, has the ice rod.
I mean, he doesn't have the ice rod, either way.
Yeah, I think you should just go back inside to get it, right?
Alright, well, Angles, meanwhile, is on to Mini Moldorm, or on to Moldorm 2, I'm sorry.
Yeah, with 10% in hand, Angles did not open up the chest for us, so we will not know Amarith's fate until he gets up there.
Where were all those arrows when you needed them? So, whiz robes apparently are the drop all the arrows price pack.
Yeah, they were in that prize pack with the guards. goes Agatuke for Ankles. Headed on to that Ganon fight. Meanwhile, Amarith, moment of truth time. We have 3 chests. If we need 1 small key. If none of these chests have a small key. Rip and...
Okay.
Okay, totally saved. Way to go. It's gonna be fine.
Man. Okay, so we're not going to get a forfeit.
Oh my god, Draco didn't go back into Ice Palace.
Draco, no!
Thankfully, without the mirror being accessible, like, there's not that many things he can do before he goes back there.
This is true. So Angles is on Ganon. 3.5 hearts. Don't know how many potions Angles has. This could be interesting. It's a little... Oh, Amarith! Trolldorm.
Yeah, the bats are going in, like, crazy directions because we spent too long in the Icermost room.
Oh no, Amarith!
Amarith's just not having a good day.
You know what? I'd be a little bit tilted right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be a little bit tilted.
At least there was a key in the Mini-Helma room.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine Amarith didn't make that gamble on purpose. It was just, brain dirt.
Alright, so Angles sets up the torch glitch and is on to his Silverless fight. Silverless tempered isn't bad. So I got a good rhythm for 2 per.
Oh, nice lamp triple there.
Don't think magic is really on the top of Angles' list. Has the lamp, got the torch glitch. Oh, and Angles does down it. Amarith on his way to the Ganon fight. Thoris working his way through Ganon's tower. Draco still hunting for that ice rod. And Angles does finish officially in 12th place with a time of 1:50.08. Looks like several runners took the advised route. Did early Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you just make that one decision to go into pod, then the whole seat just kind of lines up real nicely. It's still Ice Rod Go mode, I'm sure, but, it's in a crystal dungeon, so not the worst thing.
All right, let's see if we can get Angles here to chat with us for a little bit. And joining us right now is Angles. How's it going, man?
Man, what is it?
Why do you hate pod?
I don't like going into places I can't finish yet.
Yeah.
That was also mainly one of the main reasons why I didn't go into Sheep Town when I first got to the Dark World, because I was fearing that Bitses so much.
Well, you were not the only one. No runner on the restream went to pod until they were completely out of options.
I am not surprised, and I was also not too surprised surprised when I was checking Lumberjack before heading up the mountain that it was gonna be a hidden aga.
So the other little bit of information, which maybe not necessarily a big deal, but you literally walked right by the Silvers. We did know that they are in the Freezor room.
Whatever. Stuff happens. I was looking at the race set when I got the go mode and was like, no one has finished yet. I can definitely see some people who went up to the mountain without the Titus Smith, so they didn't know that they had to do Aga. So it was more like I was feeling like I was in a really good position. So I didn't want to check any extra stuff. But man, why didn't any of the enemies in this game drop any bombs?
No one had bombs. It wasn't in the prize pack for any of them.
Oh, in the
I
escape?
know, and that was so irritating because I was fully expecting to see to be like, oh, you're gonna drop a glove in the back of escape. You're gonna have to come back here either after the fact that you have collected bombs or you find the boots.
All right, and we do have Amarith finished in 13th place at 152.56. And there is Amarith joining us now. Fun fact, Amarith actually entered Ganon's Tower significantly ahead, but had a couple hiccups there.
I feel personally assaulted by that Ganon's Tower.
It could have been a lot worse.
I noticed the key thing too when I got to the top, and I was like, "Oh God, please tell me there's a key up here. If there's not a key, I'm out."
You want to know a thing, Amarith? I almost did the exact same thing because I went full right, and so I didn't have any keys coming out after getting the big key. I almost went up the tower, but remembered and ran away over to the pot and collected that key.
Luckily, there was a key in it was the second chest in the mini Helmasaur room.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean,
Yep,
we were
look
sweating
out.
for Amarith, yeah.
I bailed out a little bit. Nice consolation prize after having to dig like 100,000 times for arrows.
Oh, really? What did that happen? But otherwise, I think this was a pretty fun seed. There were a lot of little bit of fun traps and stuff like that laid out, especially when the hammer is so far into the seed. But
If you think about it, it really kind of wasn't. It just happened to take like forever to get to because there was so many more other convenient things to do along the way.
yeah,
Well, and really the blessing in this particular seed was that the mirror was locked in Ganon's Tower. There on the torch of all things, and the mirror was your access to Swamp Palace and Desert Palace, and really with Late Hammer you couldn't get into Tower of Hera anyway, so everyone managed to avoid just about all the pendant dungeons.
that was a little bit of fun one as well. I had a little bit of lucky with my GT route because I always do Dark Magician strat. And the fact that I went fully right and was able to skip the mirror made so that because I would probably mirrored after doing the Compass Room, so it definitely decreased my Ganon Tower checks because of that. That was a little bit fun.
So we asked Ingalls earlier, but Amarith, did you ever feel tempted to go into pot earlier than you did?
I was thinking about it, but it was just like, okay, well, I'll route it in after this. And then I got the fire. I was like, well, I'll go do Skullwoods first. Well, maybe I'll go do Mire first because what if Hammer's there? Because it's been there like 3 times lately.
Yeah, as I said, Emma, if there were so many other locations that where you didn't need a hammer, that was very tempting with the items you got in the order we got them.
Yeah, and that just sort of came down to, well, do I want to go into hammerless ice or hammerless pod? Which one is going to have the hammer today?
Yeah, that
Well-
crazy rattle.
Well, and you guys, we got to see a little bit of deviation there because everyone kind of got to the same point. You two ended up going to pod first, but Draco and Thoris ended up doing Ice Palace, and that's how we know that those silver arrows were in the freeze orb room there.
Wow, that's so sad.
Oh,
Because the PK was right after the first hammer peg.
Yeah, I mean, you guys literally walked right by the silvers, and we knew exactly where it was. We're like, well, they still have Master Sword. Maybe they'll take the 4 seconds to check this chest because, you don't want to do Master Sword silverless, hoping for something, and walked right by something.
I considered it, but I was like, man, there's only one item left in here. What are the odds it's a sword or silvers? And there you go.
And I was
Yeah, not
thinking
only-
we are probably gonna find the sword in GT, so and tempered it's okay when it comes to Ganon fight.
Yeah, not only would it have to be that one item being Sword of Silvers, but it would have to be that one item being Sword of Silvers in that one chest, because you can't really justify going to anything else in this only freezer room.
I only go to freezer room before Hookshot if I don't get the small key by the first chest. Otherwise, I just skip that chest until the return back after Hookshot. But yeah, otherwise, GG to you, MMA. Thanks so much to the trackers and the commentators for this wonderful little race, and thanks so much to the race team for that wonderful seed.
Our pleasure.
Yep. Thank you to both Amaranth and Angles. And Draco right now is really in a state of confusion, not knowing where that ice rod is. And Draco's abandoned a lot of individual spots.
Ooh, that's rough.
Meanwhile, Thoris is on his Ganon fight right now, has silvers, got the double.
Quick and easy. GG.
GG. Oh, hey, it's you. Draco's remembering that there's that one item that's still in Thieves Town that everyone abandoned.
I was actually thinking of going back there after the pod if I wouldn't have found the ice rod in the Ice Palace.
Thoris does finish officially in 16th place, 2 hours, 44 seconds officially. So I'm gonna ask a favor of chat. Everyone, just kind of channel your thoughts into Draco Falcone's direction. Be like, "You're wrong."
So did Draco just go mode Ice Palace, or?
Yep.
Aha.
Well, I think he found 2 of the 3 items and then said, "No, I'm not going to open the last one." Like, what are the odds of that?
Famous last word.
Just hoping it was on the boss, I suppose. Because remember, right? Like Draco did the Ice Palace step before the hammer.
And Draco has officially, unfortunately, forfeited from the race. Oh, feels bad. Yep. Draco Falcone has forfeit. Thoris just finished up finishing. I don't know. We sent him the invite, but he has not accepted it. So we may be getting out of here before too long. While we're waiting on the last minutes, just a peek at the rest of our schedule for the day. A little bit clear until 9 o'clock Eastern tonight over on Speed Gaming 1. We will have the Zelda 2 Randomizer weekly race. Over on Speed Gaming 3, we will have I think that's the Final Fantasy Randomizer weekly. And then at 9 o'clock, also on Speed Gaming 4, we have the other Link to the Past daily race. It is an open mode seed at that point in time.
And Draco Falcone has joined us. All right, talk to us, man. How you feeling?
Sorry, I got pulled on the midway there.
Oh, and Thoris is here too. Hi, Thoris.
Hello.
Oh, that seed was so dirty.
There was nothing wrong with that seed. That was an easy seed.
So have you since found out where the ice rod was, Draco?
I think the only thing I didn't check was Spike Cave.
It is Ice Palace.
Oh, the hammerlock chests up top.
Yeah.
Darn. Because I know I missed the 2 chests up there. I knew one of them was gonna be a dungeon item, and I was banking on the other one being garbage.
Yep, unfortunately, that was not the case. There came to a point, the world opened up quite a bit, and then you got to have a choice. It came down to a choice. Did you want to do hammerless Ice Palace or hammerless Palace of Darkness? Amaranth and Angles went to Palace of Darkness. You and Thoris went to Ice Palace. You both picked up the silvers, but yeah.
And that beginning of that seed looked so promising. Like, first 5 item checks were 5 trackable items.
As well as you could have skipped out Kakariko entirely.
Yeah,
There's
just
absolutely
about.
nothing in there.
So obviously the big play in this seed was going to Hammerless Pod at some point and getting the hammer. Did you guys ever consider going there earlier than you did? Or was it always just, I got something better to do?
I pretty much knew I didn't realize the only way that I had to get over there until much later. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna be double forced to do Aga 1, aren't I? And it turns out I was right.
Well, the flippers were the original Beast Darkwood Access out of Eastern.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because I miscounted my items in Eastern. I thought I gotten all my items and realized I'm like, oh, wait, there's 3 in Eastern, not 2. Because I knew I got a heart piece in there, and I got another item in there, but I didn't remember. But yeah, I realized much later, I'm like, oh, I probably orphaned an item in East.
Yeah, unfortunately, you could have gone the whole sea without finding the flippers. You just have to like pick flipper dice.
Yeah, one of the nice things about this seed is the 3 pendant dungeons were effectively locked until almost the very end, and even then, Tower of Hera was the only one that really unlocked until you got into Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, that mirror was on the torch.
Oh, I was wondering where that was hiding out.
Yeah, so the mirror locked both your Desert Palace and your Swamp Palace access, and then, it mostly locked your Tower of Hera access too until you got the hammer, which was, again, I think that was our second to last go mode item. It was that and then the ice rod.
Just made some horrible plays and just kept double guessing myself because I went into Hype Cave and I was like, right after Hype Cave, Flicker to Pod. And then if I had Fire Rod, I was like, okay, I'll go to Ice Palace instead. And then I was walking over to go to Catfish. And then I was like, oh, I forgot about the back of Escape. So I went down there, got the hook shot, and went on my own little merry whirlwind adventure. And it was like, it led me nowhere. I was like, I should just have went to Pod the first time.
So you were thinking Pod pretty early, just the fire rod derailed you.
Yeah, because I'm an idiot and I forgot that Ice Palace is partly locked by the hammer, and I thought I could clear it. So I was like, yeah,
Just a
I'll do
little
that.
bit.
There's a reason why I have the rookie as my subtitle. Yeah, I got so annoyed with myself forgetting the back of Escape. I always forget the back of Escape, and I never learn from being punished by it. So I spent like a good 20-30 minutes swearing at myself, just cursing myself constantly going around.
Yeah, a little unusual. Like ever since like V30, it's been pretty uncommon to not be able to get those bombs through the escape. Today was just straight up impossible.
Yeah, it's because they changed all those prize packs. It's just like chances of getting a bomb are quite high, but sometimes you just don't get it.
It was also the fact that we had the weapon that we could kill a lot of stuff, because I have seen where we have a weapon where you can't kill a lot of stuff when we don't get bombs, but this time we had the good weapons, we could kill a lot of stuff. That was a little bit funny as well.
Yeah, there was one point where I kind of went on to like a murdering spree and just started killing everything because it was annoying. I was so annoyed. I went complete overkill on Cold Stare as well, just burned all my magic into the last cough ball.
Well, I think we're about ready to wrap it up, guys. Any parting words?
If you want an example on how not to play this game, just watch my stream.
Nah, you did fine, dude.
Say no to bimbo statues, kids.
Can concur.
Make sure to check out Speed Gaming Live later this month.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Again, Amaranth, Angles, Draco Falcone, and Thoris, thank you all for volunteering, putting yourself out there for the restream. We do want to give a shout out to Oro and Drossi, who were our trackers for this race. Thank you guys so much for doing all the work behind the scenes. And of course, my co-commentator, Koi. It's always a pleasure working with you.
You too, Vitasia.
Yep, thanks for commentating, guys.